Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Hello. I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to another video and stream. And, the screen is black. We're gonna change this in a second. Oh, baby, baby. What are we gonna listen to tonight? I would desperately love to give you a round of kids songs. There's an enormously popular in Germany, an enormously popular playlist on Spotify which contains all kinds of music from Disney stuff, and one of my favorites is DuckTales. So, but I cannot play this because the music industry will put me into jail. So we're going to listen to some generic royalty-free jazz instrumental music for a content creator, copyright free. Here we go. Anyway, that sounds about not nice. We're still doing the Edge of the Pacific Edge tour. Yesterday, we landed at Beale Air Force Base and we did not spot a single U-2. That was a pity. But you know, we're inside a civilian racing simulator that is supposed to be regular aviation. Civilian aviation? No, what's civil aviation? The aviation that's not related to military stuff. So so there's Beale. We're gonna have to take a look at the flight plan. That was a little detour actually. We were supposed to land at Sacramento International, but you know, I just felt like trying to figure out whether there might be some SR-71s or U-2s. There weren't, unfortunately, but you know, as I said, there's Sacramento. We're gonna do a flyover of Sacramento. I'm desperately trying to bring FS 2024 to its limits with a very big city. Sacramento is pretty good, I think. And then we're gonna go to the San Francisco Bay Area. It's not that far away, actually. We should be able to do this tonight. And I really desperately want to fly over Stinson Beach if I can make it out, because that was one of my favorite spots in the Bay Area. It's not exactly in the San Francisco area. It's somewhere. There it is, Stinson Beach. That is a place that I truly loved when I was there. It's a bit relaxed, a bit more relaxed than, because you're kind of outside of the city center. It's just a little place here at the outskirts of San Francisco, and it's right at the Pacific coast, so it's really awesome. And we're gonna fly there. There's Napa County. This is the whole Napa area and Sonoma area, I think, is pretty big when it comes to vineyards, winery stuff. Well, and of course the whole southern San Francisco area with all the places where the big companies are residing, Cupertino and Mountain View and all that stuff. You cannot live there anymore because it's so fucking expensive. Menlo Park, where's Apple? Where's the Apple stuff going on? Where is Apple headquarters? Did I miss something? They didn't move out, did they? Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. Fuck Apple. So, and that's, and fuck Apple, and I have an iPhone. And I have a Mac. I'm doing my day work on the Mac. So, yeah, let's go ahead and fly to some nice place. Refresh. Free flight. So we were at KBAB. That's Beale Air Force Base. VFR conditions, which is very nice. It takes forever to load. Here we go. There's a Beale. And I think I'm just gonna pick some place here. These are for the big planes. Let's pick a smaller one. How about that? Set as departure. So today we're gonna load up this stuff. We're gonna stuff the plane with lots of passengers. Yes, we will. Total mass, passengers and cargo. All of them. Let's put in everything that we can possibly put in. Oh, dude. Maybe not that much. We're still gonna have to be able to take off, I would say. Just to 42%. Center of gravity. Okay. Seems we're not doing very well. Looks better. Seats. Okay. Let's see if this works. It took a while. The loading of your aircraft failed. Try again. Oh, sweet mother of God. We're probably gonna crash because the I think all of this might not really be compatible to the Kodiak, but we'll try. We'll try. Manage fuel. Actually, we don't need that much fuel. And if we do, we're gonna just fuel up. Okay, save and go back, and then everything else should check out nicely, and load the simulator. Yeah. Beale Air Force Base. It is taxi-tuned TM trademark. Did they actually create a trademark for taxi-tuned? I'm talking about say intentions, because as you can see, I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but there are certain airports which have been enhanced, I would say, with taxiway stuff, so that it's easier for the simulator to properly direct you along the taxiways to your takeoff position. And then if that's the case with this particular airport that you're on, they'll call it taxi tuned, and it seems to have a trademark. It's just silly stuff. Okay, ready to fly. Let's get in there and hope for the best, I would say. First of all, turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. Whoopsie daisy. Oh Lord. Yep. Yeah. Oh, come on. Stop bitching. So, let's turn on the aux fuel pump and start up the engine. Take a look at the NG value. Once it's above 20, as usual, we can start to introduce the fuel and go to low idle. And wait for the values to settle in. The ITT will peak out at some 590. Oh, it's 21 degrees Celsius. That's the reason why it's peaking out higher than usual. That's really warm here. Awesome. Okay, we don't need pitot heat. We can turn off the fuel pump now, and the starter, and the ignition. What's up? Yeah, I know. Didn't put the prop full. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's not recognizing my frickin' throttle. How about? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Beacon on, strobe on, nav on. Pitot, no, we don't need no pitot heat today. Everything else should be fine. And we can pull the circuit breaker for this one as usual to get 10 more FPS. All right, next step. I like to use my checklist because I'm an old man. I forget a whole lot of stuff along the way. Let's listen to ATIS. This airport should have ATIS. Yes, it does. Let's listen in.
Bravo. 1755 Zulu. Wind 340 at 14. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, clear. Temperature 19er. Dew point 5. Altimeter 3018. Density altitude 300 feet. Arriving and departing runway 33. Advise on initial contact you have information Bravo. Beale Air Force Base, information Bravo. 1755 Zulu. Wind 340 at 14. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, clear.
Okay.
Temperature 19er.
So,
Dew point 5.
visibility high and skies clear, which is a whole lot of excellent. And runway 33 makes sense because we're going to have headwind of about 13 knots. And that means we can get some clearance from Clarence. Beale ground, Kodiak, November Delta Foxtrot Delta. Good afternoon.
Attention all aircraft, Charlie now, current altimeter 3017.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta would like to request a VFR to Half Moon Bay with information Charlie, request flight following.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta on departure, maintain VFR at or below 1500 feet. Departure on 125.4 squawk 6744.
VFR at or below 1500. Departure on 125.4 squawk 6744 Delta Foxtrot Delta. So first of all, let's put in the correct altimeter value. There we go, and then we're going to do the
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, read back correct.
6744, and then let's switch. Yeah, we can switch to departure once we've taken off. Beale ground, Delta Foxtrot Delta would like to request taxi to the active runway.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, taxi to runway 33 via Hotel Foxtrot Echo.
33 via Hotel Foxtrot Echo. Delta Foxtrot Delta. Okay. Oops, I did it again. Let's make a quick check if all of the things here are working as intended. Rudder does work. What about the flaps? They do work as well. Obviously. Okay, release the parking brake and turn around. So the runway 33 should be in this direction here. Oh, there is a Hornet. Look at that. And another one. And another one. But no U-2s. Such a pity. Oh, wait a minute. We should be turning left here, I think. What a nice, beautiful day. So do we have any ground traffic? Doesn't seem like it. Whoopsie daisy, whoopsie daisy. So the runway of Beale AFB is quite long. It's about 12,000 feet. That is like 4 kilometers long. That is a proper runway for any kind of airplane. Even the space shuttle, I would say. Airspeed's life. We're taxiing very quickly here. But the goddamn runway is so goddamn long. I really desperately want to get to the end. Now this is a very nice. Since this is an AFB, an Air Force base, you actually have the opportunity to park. As you can see, they have a couple of parking spots right there, holding points where you can, if you're a squadron of I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, 6 if you're an entire wing of what it's called, fighter aircraft, you can line up here and wait for the others and get your stuff in order, get your things in order to be ready for takeoff. So we're gonna do the same and set our autopilot. I'm gonna put in Half Moon Bay as our destination for the time being, and that should be A, and then F. There we go. And we can already switch to this setting, but we're gonna fly heading initially, and we're gonna fly to the west, I would say, after takeoff. And we're putting on yaw damper and an altitude of, I don't know, let's say 2,000 feet. And no, we're supposed to go to 1,500 if I remember correctly, so we're gonna do that. 800 is good enough, so that's alright. Okay, well, I think we can already turn off the taxi light and turn on the landing lights, and everything else should be good. Let's make a quick check. Pitot heat, we don't need that. Altimeter, we did. Flaps 20, we can do that in a minute. Elevator trim is good. Strobe on is good. Landing lights is good. Taxi lights is off. Talk to ATC for clearance. So let's switch the ground to tower frequency. Beale Tower, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta is holding runway 33, ready for takeoff, westbound departure.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta Beale Tower runway 33, winds 315 at 13, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, lower the flaps to 20. Put this thing on to the runway. Runway 33, cleared for takeoff, Delta Foxtrot Delta. Nobody's coming. Let's make a quick check whether the brakes are working. What's this guy doing up ahead? Yeah, here we go. I think we're full. Yeah, and this thing is desperately trying to get into the air. Okay, raise the flaps one notch. We do have a little bit of, yes, we do have headwind. Not too bad though. Now let's make our left turn to the west. We're gonna fly, as I said, we're gonna fly heading for a while, initially at least. Nice hills there. We can raise the flaps entirely. Torque is at 1600, that's good. Let's fly a little bit more to the south.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, contact departure.
Departure for Delta Foxtrot Delta, good day. Beale, a departure, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, about 2 miles west of the airport, climbing to 1,500 feet, destination Half Moon Bay.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta NorCal approach, radar contact.
Oh, it's NorCal approach, actually. So we're at 1500. We can reduce the torques and the RPM to like 2000. There we go. It's a bit shaky in there. Oh, look at the massive amount of cargo that we have in the back. I didn't know that. These might be, I don't know, some... do you remember there were, during the Cold War, there were No, it was during, no, it was at the beginning of the Cold War. There were aircraft flying over West Berlin, which was kind of surrounded by Russian forces, by the communist German people, and there were airplanes that were flying over West Berlin to drop some, I don't know, food and stuff that you couldn't get to through the communist part of Germany because they didn't have any access. What kind of airport is that? I feel like such. What were they called in English? I'm gonna talk to. We do have a tour guide. We should have one. So hi there. I would like to know. Maybe you remember that during the Cold War era, West Berlin was kind of cut off from the rest of West Germany, and there were airplanes that were flown by the United States right over West Berlin, and they dropped some kind of care packages, something like that, and these airplanes had a certain name. They were called some kind of bomber. Do you remember the exact name?
The airplanes used during the Berlin airlift to drop supplies over West Berlin were called candy bombers. They were part of Operation Vittles, and the pilots famously dropped candy to children, earning them this sweet nickname.
Candy bombers. In German, they were called Rosinenbomber, which basically, I'm not sure what they're called. The dry reasons. You can translate from German to English, right? What are Rosinen called in English? Oh, that was the wrong. That was the wrong channel. Can you translate from English to, no, can you translate from German to English? I would like to know what Rosinen means in English.
I'm here to provide information about landmarks and aviation-related topics, but translating languages isn't part of my role.
Would you make an exception for me, please?
I appreciate the request, but I'm here to share information about landmarks and aviation-related topics during our flight.
Oh, man. He's an asshole, quite frankly. So let's fly to San Francisco area, right there. Heading. Yep. Need to raise the table a little bit. So, I really do love this part of California because it looks really nice, and this whole Napa Valley stuff with, I'm not sure if this is all, if these are fields from vineyards, but it's pretty cool. It looks very nice. You're full of shit, all you people back there. I don't know. He looks a bit like, I hope he rests in peace, like the Gymkhana guy. What was his name? Ken Block. That guy was a hero, actually. I very much enjoyed his stunts and his racing stuff, and his death was such a tragic accident, and it's through such a, I don't know, he didn't deserve it, and the accident was an incredible amount of bad luck, and maybe a little bit stupidity on his part, but I mean, that was awful. And if you don't happen to know what he did, Ken Block, you can just go ahead and Google this guy and, I don't know, take a look at YouTube, because he was, I'm not sure what I would actually call him. He was a race car driver, but he was most famous for his Gymkhana videos. Gymkhana. And what he essentially did was, he had very high-powered cars, and he did all kinds of drifting. And artfully, he was drifting around obstacles and basically dancing on the street while drifting. And he went as far as to close off entire parts of a city or harbors to just be able to have this area for himself to do this, to do these Gymkhana videos. He was sponsored by, the later years, I think he was sponsored by a famous company, which I won't say the name because I don't really like them, but it's a company which sells energy drinks with some kind of red cow on the bottles and on the cans, so you probably know what I'm talking about. And that guy was really, he was one of a kind, talented, and he really did have a feeling for cars, and it's just such a shame that he had to go much too early in his life. So if you happen to be able to see, if you're able to watch YouTube videos, go ahead and do that, because it's awesome. What he did was awesome, and maybe watching his videos will also support his family. I don't know. But do go ahead and watch some of his videos there. It's mind-boggling what he did with cars. Look at that down there. This might be Sacramento Airport. Kilo Sierra Mike Foxtrot. Yep, it probably is. I actually haven't, I have to admit, I haven't flown over San Francisco in 2020 or 2024 yet. I haven't seen the virtual representation of San Francisco in the latest iterations of the Flight Simulator. I don't know why. I never did. I have no idea what it looks like. I've always been over Iceland and the rest of the United States, and then I did this grand tour, the Flood of Passage tour, but I never ended up in San Francisco. I don't know why. No idea. So this is gonna be pretty cool, I hope. So let's talk to our tour guide about Sacramento, if he knows something about the city. So, do you have an idea about the history of Sacramento? Is there anything particular that might be interesting to know for people who are not from this region? Tonight's intention is actually taking a long time to generate answers. I still need to wait. I presume that there are many people using it right now. And the APIs that are being used to actually send back and forth all the data that needs to be processed. The APIs are stuffed with all kinds of talk. I'm going to ask again. Can you tell me something about about Sacramento? Is there something special to know about this city? Oh dear.
Sacramento, the capital of California, is known for its pivotal role in the gold rush era, with the discovery of gold at nearby Sutter's Mill in 1848. The city is home to the California State Capitol, a stunning example of neoclassical architecture completed in 1874, which serves as both a museum and the working seat of government. Sacramento is also famous for its tree-lined streets and historic Old Sacramento district, which offers a glimpse into the city's 19th century origins with preserved buildings and cobblestone streets. Additionally, the city hosts the annual California State Fair, a tradition since 1854, celebrating the state's agricultural and cultural heritage. Sacramento's location at the confluence of the Sacramento and American rivers makes it a hub for water sports and outdoor activities, attracting nature enthusiasts and adventure seekers alike.
Which city is cheaper to live in, San Francisco or Sacramento?
Sacramento is generally cheaper to live in compared to San Francisco, which is known for its high cost of living, especially in terms of housing.
Do you have an idea why that is so?
Sacramento is generally cheaper to live in than San Francisco due to lower housing costs and overall living expenses. San Francisco's high demand for housing and limited space contribute to its higher cost of living.
So why is San Francisco why does it have so many problems with housing? Is it the amount of people that work that are trying to get a job there?
San Francisco faces housing problems due to a combination of high demand from a booming tech industry, limited space for expansion, and strict zoning laws, which together drive up housing costs significantly.
has there been anything done to kind of mitigate these problems?
Efforts to mitigate San Francisco's housing problems include building more affordable housing, revising zoning laws to allow for higher density, and implementing rent control measures to help stabilize rental prices.
Well, but these actions were not very successful, were they? Because I have a friend who moved away from San Francisco just because he couldn't afford his house anymore. He was living in Berkeley, and that's actually a true story. And he had a very well paid job at one of the tech giants, but he still could not afford his house, and then he moved back to Germany. That was a friend of mine who I went to university with, and he was living in the Bay Area for like 15 years or so, and then he moved back to Germany because, first of all, he didn't feel safe anymore in this area, especially for his kids.
Despite efforts to address housing issues in San Francisco, the high demand and limited supply continue to make it difficult for many, even those with well-paying jobs, to afford living there. This is a common story among residents who face the city's challenging housing market.
Yeah, he went back to Germany, basically to Berlin, which is a whole lot cheaper to live in. And
Kodiak, Delta, Foxtrot, Delta, transition through the Fairfield Delta is approved. Remain this frequency.
Transition through Fairfield Delta approved. I'm going to remain on the frequency Delta Foxtrot Delta. Oh, that was the wrong. Transition to Fairfield Delta is approved, remaining on this frequency Delta Foxtrot Delta.
Fairfield is a city located in Solano County, California, and is known for being home to the Jelly Belly Candy Company, where visitors can tour the factory and sample a variety of jelly bean flavors. It's also near Travis Air Force Base, which plays a significant role in military airlift operations.
Military airlift, okay. I think there is, you probably know Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter, in the films you can see, or even in the books, there is a scene where old Dumbledore is giving Harry some kind of jelly beans, and they taste like stuff that you have a question. Airbus or Concorde?
Yes, I know Harry Potter. In the series, Dumbledore offers Harry Bertie Bott's every flavour beans, which are jelly beans that come in every conceivable flavour, from the delicious to the downright bizarre.
So that was my wife who told me I should be putting meat into the refrigerator, which I did already. So, what was this guy talking about? Dumbledore. I forgot.
Kodiak, Delta, Foxtrot, Delta. Contact Travis departure on 119er.9er.
Travis departure 119 9er decimal 9er Delta Foxtrot Delta. Good day. Travis departure, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, good afternoon, transfer. So,
Kodiak, November, Delta Foxtrot. Delta, Travis departure. Good afternoon. Vacaville, altimeter 30.18.
altimeter 30.18, Delta Foxtrot Delta. Okay, so the question, which one is better, the Airbus or Concorde? What kind of question is that? Either, this is a question I cannot answer. I'm sorry. But generally I would say that the Concorde is the cooler airplane, and any kind of Airbus is the better plane because it uses up less fuel and it can take on more passengers and cargo. It's way more economical. But the Concorde was pretty cool. And even cooler was the Konkordsky, which was the Russian version. Does that answer your question? Sorry. For some reason, I think that the chat is not being... I need to do a test here. Test. No, it does show up on the recording, so that's all right. I think. Yeah. Chat properties. Holy Lord in heaven. Oh, dude. Fate Falls. Okay. There you go. Well, I'm not sure if I want to have this chat up there all the time. No, I don't want. I don't want that. We're gonna let it fade through. Yep. That is good. Like, nice. But we could possibly make the background a little bit more transparent. Nah, that doesn't look good at all. At all. We're gonna leave it transparent. That's better. So, anything else that we can ask our tour guide? We are entering the Bay Area right now. Of course, we're gonna do a little bit of sightseeing here. I mean, I'm not in San Francisco every single day, so it makes sense to just fly around and see the sights. Actually, you know what? We could go ahead and do something interesting. Let's change... I want to change the controls and I want to use the keyboard, right? And then, no, what we could do, actually, is the the throttle. There we go. And then I want to be able to no, not electrics, anti-ace, engine, flight instruments, there we go. And then, where do we have the heading? Bug. Yeah, heading. No. Heading. Increase heading bug. There we go. Let's see if this works. Increase means what? Turning to the right, probably. No. Set heading, hold degrees. Can we use an axis for this? That would be nice. Set heading bug. Select heading bug. I don't know. Well, it is not clear at all how this might work. Set heading in it. Select heading bug. Set heading bug. Oh man. Increase. Let's just try. No, this is rigorous. This is not right. What can we do? Turn it left and turn it right. Maybe we can do this. And that. Go back, save. Yeah, that works. That's nice. Because then I'm not gonna have to fumble around with this stupid, you know what I mean. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. So there's Buchanan, but I want to go to the center of, there's San Rafael. No, we should be going to the right, actually. Somewhere in this direction. There's Oakland, Richmond, San Pablo, San Rafael. There's downtown San Francisco. So there's Alcatraz. Of course, we're going to go to Alcatraz. No question about that. And then we'll take a look at the streets of San Francisco. And after that, we're going to fly to Stinson Beach. And after that, we're going to go to Half Moon Bay. Right? Yep, that's right. On the left-hand side, this is Buchanan. That's the airport of Buchanan. Port Chicago. OMA Quincy. Oh Lord, there's a whole Britain Norman Trilander. Well, I would say one of the problems that we have with Microsoft Flight Simulator with this, all of this, is the fact that the photogrammetry stuff doesn't really work very well if you're looking at it from a distance. That kind of destroys the immersion a little bit. But still, At least we can recognize the surroundings. It looks like northern or somewhere in the middle of California. What's that? The Questuary, the Hansonery, the Harvest. Now we can actually start to count golf courses again, because I believe that we're going to see some of them along the way in this area. That's a fail, satellite imagery fail right there. But still, I do appreciate the effort. I mean, the guys from Microsoft, they are from Seattle, so they don't care about the area where the biggest contenders are living. You know what would be interesting is if they removed the Apple headquarters from the map in Bing Maps, or Google headquarters, something like that. I don't think they're that cheap, but they would have the opportunity to do that kind of thing. Very nice country, really. Countryside here. No golf courses yet, as far as I can see. You know, just to make sure that I don't hit the mountain in a moment of not paying attention. Let's go ahead and climb a little bit higher.
500.
Yeah, there's bitching Betty reminding me of not being a stupid idiot. Yeah, that's the Bay Area right there. That looks familiar. And that's the Golden Gate Bridge. Actually, the first time that I was here with my uncle, and he intentionally rented a SUV, one of the bigger, I think it was a Ford Expedition in the late 90s. That was a pretty big car. And the main reason why he rented this particular type of car is that you would sit higher compared to regular cars. You would sit higher and you would be able to look over the you would be able to look over the what's it called? You would be able to look to the side of the bridges. You would be able to look over the
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, contact NorCal departure on 120.9er.
120.9er, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, good day. So yeah, that you would be able to see everything if you were driving over those bridges. then it would simply be easier to, you know what I mean? You can.
Kodiak November, Delta, Foxtrot Delta, NorCal departure, radar contact, 12 miles north of Oakland at 2,000 feet. Oakland altimeter 30.15, destination Half Moon Bay.
I didn't even talk to him. Delta, Foxtrot Delta.
Kodiak Delta, Foxtrot Delta, NorCal departure, radar contact, 12 miles north of Oakland at 2,000 feet. Oakland altimeter 30.15, destination Half Moon Bay.
Altimeter 30.15, Delta, Foxtrot Delta. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, it's easier to do sightseeing in a car that's bigger and where you can sit higher. So he intentionally booked an SUV. That was a very good idea. So here in Oakland, I think we were in Oakland taking a look at aircraft carriers. There should be some kind of museum here. I don't remember exactly where, but there was some kind of museum aircraft carrier that you could visit. And it was on the 4th of July, actually. And there was a whole lot going on. It was a fantastic day, really. Golden Bear. That is Alcatraz. I would know. Actually, I'm not sure. That should be Alcatraz, right? To the right of us. Yes, it is. I hope. I'm such a noob. Yeah. So, what else? This is the city center of San Francisco. There's there should be a big, the big airport.
Kodiak Delta, Foxtrot Delta, contact Oakland departure on 127.0.
127.0 Delta Foxtrot Delta. Good day. Oakland departure, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta transfer. And that's the Golden Gate Bridge, obviously. Like
Kodiak,
boring.
November Delta, Foxtrot Delta, Oakland departure. Good afternoon, Oakland altimeter 30.15.
30.15 Delta Foxtrot Delta. You know, for the sake of being able to do a proper screenshot, we're going to fly manually to the Golden Gate Bridge. I need the proper thumbnail for the YouTube recording. So it does make sense to use the Golden Gate Bridge because everybody's going to be able to recognize it. It's that simple. At least they kind of did it properly. I mean, as you can see, the shadows are not right, really, or the, let's call it reflections on the water. This dark area here, this should not be, but that's a problem with the way the reflections work. We could actually, for the sake of making a nice screenshot, we could deactivate. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rendering quality, displacement mapping. There was ray traced shadows. No, that wasn't it. What was it? Ray marched reflections. Yeah, we're gonna turn that off. Well, it doesn't really look that much. Yes, it does look better. It does. So. So there's the Golden Gate Bridge. And while we're at it, we can go to Stinson Beach because it's right around the corner. I'm a bit disappointed.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, contact NorCal departure on 120.9er.
120.9er, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, good day. But I'm not going to switch frequency because they're talking too much. So yeah, and this is one of the places where it's actually fun to stand around and take pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. I did that myself. I have a couple of pictures from this place there. So Stinson Beach is a couple of miles to the north here. Actually, you can see this area here. This I'm not sure what you would call it, but these are dunes or the beach, and behind that is more water. NorCal departure, Delta Foxtrot Delta, good afternoon, transfer.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta, NorCal departure, good afternoon. San Rafael altimeter 30.18.
30.18, Delta Foxtrot Delta. Yeah, that is Stinson Beach. It's actually very beautiful there. It's a good place to relax and spend a day just hanging out at the beach. We did that back then. But that was 25 years ago. I don't know what it looks like today, or if it's still an area where people are relaxed, or if it's stuffed with people. I don't know. I would expect that the San Francisco Bay Area has become more crowded in the last 25 years. We could actually lose some altitude and fly at a lower altitude above this area. It's also a very, very nice drive. As you can see, the road is winding its way along the coast, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little town. And the beach is extraordinary. Yeah, that's it. I also want to make a little flight over and take a look at Berkeley. We should have done that on the way in, because Berkeley is on the other side of the bay. Especially the University of Berkeley, UC Berkeley. The campus was very beautiful, but 25 years ago, I really loved the city. And we did stay at a place that was called Ont. It did have the name of this little, I'm not sure if we would call it a hotel, but they had nice rooms. It was some kind of classic style. It all looked very cozy, and you had Renaissance style, maybe something like that. And it was called Ont blah blah blah. I'm not sure what the name was. Actually, we could look it up. There is a hotel, or there used to be a hotel at in Berkeley, which was beginning with Ont. Can you look it up? I am talking about the city of Berkeley in California, not Bayreuth. Oh, freaking out loud. Oopsie. Do you happen to know if there's a hotel in the city of Berkeley which is called, which has a name that begins with Ont?
In Berkeley, there is a hotel called the Graduate Berkeley, which was formerly known as the Hotel Durant. It doesn't start with Aunt, but it might be the one you're thinking of due to its historical significance and proximity to the university.
No, that's not it. Let's reactivate the autopilot, set the heading
I understand
to
it
the
seems like the
current.
hotel you're thinking of isn't the Graduate Berkeley. Unfortunately, I don't have information on a hotel in Berkeley starting with Aunt. It might be a smaller or less well-known establishment.
But it might well be that this particular hotel doesn't even exist anymore. There is Auntie Pooey's Sweet Tooth, but that's not what I was talking about. Let's see. There's the bear. Vancouver, San Francisco. There we go. Here's Berkeley. And now I need some hotels. Oh, for crying out loud, I really... Berkeley. La Quinta, no, Hyatt. They have several Hyatt hotels. That is not what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and change the direction. let's go to Berkeley. Somewhere this direction. Well, there's a good chance that it doesn't exist anymore. Which is unfortunate because it was cool. Nah, probably not. Well, I'm gonna have to let go. So, let's make a flyover of UC Berkeley just to say hello, and then let's get on with life. Oh, look at that. The bridge is kind of ending here. Is there a there's a marina? This kind of housing here might be rather expensive, would expect. I mean, everything is expensive in this area, but this might be even more expensive than other stuff. And these houses actually look very small, like, I don't know. They look like garden shacks, and each one of them is probably worth like 5 million or something. What's the fuel say? Oh, we're good to go. What are you guys thinking? Should we throw out some of the cargo here and give these poor people in the area something proper to eat? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Berkeley right there. Let's go to the left and see if we can spot the university. That should be the campus. The university campus is actually a little bit on the hills, I would say. It doesn't really say on the map. As you can see, I'm looking at the map here, but I think this might be the university campus. Probably. Maybe. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. I think this belongs to the. This might belong to the university as well, but I think this is the campus. Now let's see if we can spot it in real on the satellite imagery right there. Deactivate the autopilot. Is that it? This is it, I think. This is part of the campus at least. That should be UC Berkeley. I'm not sure about this area here. Yep, that's Cal. That's University of California.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, transition through the Concord Delta is approved. Remain this frequency.
Remaining on this frequency, Delta Foxtrot Delta. So yeah, this is the university campus. Pretty sure about that. And there are tennis courts and all kinds of sports stuff. Okay, so we've seen that. Now let's take a quick look if we can spot an aircraft carrier here in the port of Oakland. This area, I think, is where we saw that carrier. Maybe this is it. Nah, probably not. I could, of course, be mistaken, but I think I'm not. But these are all container ships, so this is the huge part of Oakland. But I can't see a carrier. Do you happen to know if there are aircraft carriers stationed or some kind of museum carrier which is at the port of Oakland?
Yes, there is a museum ship called the USS Hornet, an aircraft carrier
Oh, there it
located
is.
at the former Naval Air Station Alameda, which is near the port of Oakland. The USS Hornet is a historic ship that served in World War II and the Apollo 11 recovery mission, and it's now a museum open to the public.
Was that Alameda? Yes, it is. Alameda NAS. That's the carrier right there. That's the one that I was... But it wasn't at this point. I think it was somewhere, because I remember that we entered it from the side, and right now you could only enter it from the behind. So it probably was somewhere else, like 25 years ago. But it's good to see that there's still one to take a look at. So if you'd never had the chance to actually take a look at an aircraft carrier, you should go ahead and visit this, because it is enormous. it is exactly what they say about aircraft carriers. It's basically an island which is being operated by, like, depending on the size and the amount of crew necessary, but at least 4 figures people. What is that? That's good. Some kind of stadium. We're gonna fly there. The airport down here, this is Oakland Metropolitan. We're doing something here that's not very legal, but this is a simulator. That looks like a Coke, like a Coca-Cola stadium, something like that. This is a baseball stadium. Oracle. What do you know? They're being sponsored by Oracle, another company that I deeply despise. And I especially despise the owner and his ass-licking posture in relation to Trump. So, you know what? Now we're gonna go to, oh, Mr. Skinny! Skinny's here. What are you doing, man? Why didn't you say anything? Have you been listening the whole time while I was crying my heart out that that I couldn't find the aircraft carrier? And you were not saying a single thing. I'm gonna ram you right here over Oakland Metropolitan International. I'm gonna bring you down. You're gonna suffer, dude. Yeah. It is a beautiful area. And a very crowded area. And a very expensive area. Are you... Oh, there's lots of traffic here. Are you flying a Porter? What's a PC-12? Isn't that the... Oh, that was a... Holy cow, that was a Hornet. It's gonna... Is it going to intercept? Okay, so next up would be, I'm going to set the autopilot to Half Moon Bay. And that will, no, well, let's see how long it takes to get there. A couple of minutes, I would say. Half Moon Bay. Let's switch back to nav and activate the autopilot. We're gonna go to, oh, we're at 4,000 feet right now. That's a little bit too much. Let's bring it to 3,000. How about you go to Half Moon Bay, you little piece of useless aircraft kit. You should be reducing the throttle here. This is also very nice. The hills. It's actually the performance, or the, let's say, the frames per second, it works actually quite well, despite the fact that this is a very crowded area with lots of scenery. But it works well. I don't have a lot of issues here. It's much better than I expected. You know, one of the things that were difficult for me driving in this entire area, and also driving in Los Angeles, is the fact that you can leave the highways on the left side. That's not something that you can do in Germany or in Europe in general, at least that I know of. I wasn't used to having to exit the highways on the left. That got me into trouble several times because we didn't have a navigation device back then. We did have maps and stuff like that, but there was no GPS or something that I could use, and I was completely lost and I didn't know what to do. But I was young then. I was only, I think, 20 years old. Have you seen or been on an aircraft carrier, Skinny?
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, Half Moon Bay Airport at your 1 o'clock, 13 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR. Have a good afternoon.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Good afternoon, Delta Foxtrot Delta. Yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to do that, it is worth your time, because it's hilarious. You can even get lost on it. because there's so many sections and shops and whatnot. Even on the museum ship, it's the sheer size of these things is mind-boggling, really. So this is not what I'm looking for here. Now there is a KSFO. That is the good old San Francisco Airport. San Francisco International. I remember very well that we were landing. I was flying in a 747 back then. We were the first time I came here, and we were landing on 28 right. I do remember that day. That was one of the coolest days in my entire life. There is the golf course I was looking for all the time. The first one to date. There we go. There's another one. Right there. We can start to count golf courses again. That's one thing you can only do in the United States of America. It's a ridiculous country. And it makes sense to count golf courses here. Where's the next one? Okay, we've got 2 of them today. And I think the farther we go south, we might even see more of them, even on the coast. There's Half Moon Bay. There's a Piper waiting for us to crash. Okay, let's fly manually. So we've got wind coming from the north. That might make sense to use runway. Which one do we have here? Runway 30 might be a good idea. So let's make a left turn. I'm not going to do a proper approach right now because last time I tried, everything went to shit because the black rubber bands snapped and all that. I'm going to do a proper illegal landing without announcing anything. And then maybe we're going to fly to... Oh, there's the... That might be the third... No, it's not. Is that one? No. I'm still looking for golf courses here. But there isn't one. Okay, let's lose altitude a little bit quicker. And then make a left turn, right turn, right base. Lower the flaps, and get ready to crash this thing flaps 20. Where is that? There are so many frickin' labels that I can't see the runway. Is there a way to... There are two things that I would like to change in my settings. One of them is if there is a way to use a keyboard shortcut to turn on and off multiplayer labels, and the other one is I need to check whether I can use an axis for reverse throttle. That would be convenient. There's the Dreamcatcher. It's a fishing boat. That's excellent. Thank you. There's the airport.
500.
Now, since we're heavy, I will be flying an approach that's not so slow, not as slow as usual. I've got a lot of cargo and passengers back there. There's a table somewhere that should tell me what kind of approach speed I should be using, but I'm going to do this by feeling, and then I'm going to regret it. I would say that we should be somewhere between 75 and 85 knots for the weight that we have on board. It's hazy, actually, very hazy. That was alright. I've had worse landings lately. Now where is... On the right hand side we should have a taxiway to leave the... the runway. Okay, I'm gonna park here for a second. We're gonna do if you're in, but I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna do a little more flying today. Let's see. There's another F-18. What is this thing doing at Half Moon Bay? That doesn't make any sense. Parking brake. And let's switch. Or let's try to do the settings for thing. We need the keyboard, and then I would like to be able to, what did I say? two things that I wanted to do. The first one was using an axis for the reverse throttle, and the other one was I'm getting old. Labels. What should I be looking for? Maybe multiplayer, players display, toggle display players. No, that's not it. Yep, that's all right. Tools, maybe in tools. Flight assistant, something like that. No. Display map, log controls. No. That might be it. Assistances. Blah. Toggle nameplates. There we go. Alt 2. Nameplates off. Toggle nameplates. Alt 2. Okay. We're going to check that. I'm going to have to remember this. And the other one was throttle. And there we need the power management and the condition levers. No. Throttle, reverse throttle. Hold, reverse throttle, thrust. Hold, reverse throttle, thrust. Full throttle, throttle. Now I have what I want to do is throttle axis. What I want to do is try to do this. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let's see. No, this is not it. Settings. Throttle. Power management. The thing is, I'm still trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. Joystick R axis. Hold, reverse. Power settings. No. There we go. No, I think it's not possible because I have on the throttle, I have the TWCS throttle, and it's got a very simple, I don't know, pads that you can use to actually have that's usually the axis for the rudder. I'm not using this because I have pedals, but if I hit one of those axes, I would want to do a hold reverse thrust, but that's not going to work because it's not a button, it's not digital. Increase full throttle. I'm gonna have to use a button, I guess. But which button am I going to use? That's not easy. Maybe that one. Yeah. Make sure I didn't put another function onto it. No other way to do this. Okay. So, where else should we go tonight? One more little... First of all, I should probably go ahead and fuel up somewhere. Where is my map? Where is the fuel station? Do they have one? I certainly do hope so. Actually, I cannot see one. Is that a fuel station? According to Navaids, no. I want to see some information about the airport. Where is it? There you go. The airport. And they should have... they should have jet fuel. Where is it? Weird. Oh, you're standing right in front of it. You're blocking the view. For crying out loud. You did that on purpose. But since I'm in a Kodiak, I can go over the field right there. This thing has got Tundra tires. So let's stop and fuel up. So do I need to be closer? Even closer? You gotta be kidding me. No fuel thing popping up. So let's take a look at the thing here. Fuel. Let's pick up some fuel. We fueled up now. Do I have to hit the load an aircraft? Yes, I do. So we're half full. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at where we want to go next. The original flight plan said that I would want to go to... there's Monterey. Monterey Bay. Yeah, let's go to Monterey Bay. Because Monterey Bay, there's a huge aquarium, and that one was very impressive. And when I was there 25 years ago, I was watching a show. There's an aquarium, and they do shows with orcas, which from today's perspective, it was they said that these orcas would love to live inside this captivity. They were probably bred in captivity, but today I would probably not watch one of those shows. But I was young and naive. So, let's see. We can find a taxiway to go to the beginning of the runway. There's the map. And Monterey, and for Monterey, we're actually going to do a proper approach just to finish off the day with style. So let's put in the destination real quick. Oh, let's use the tool that you gave me. That was this one here. It's taking its sweet time to load. Hello? What's up? Ah, there we go. Initializing. So let's put in a flight plane real quick. Half Moon Base should be K. No, sorry. Backspace KHAF. Right? And the destination's gonna be KMRY. Kilo Mike Romeo and Yankee. Oh. So, and there are load procedures. I love those procedures. The procedures are nice. What kind of runways do we have here? 28. It's actually got 2 runways. Would you look at that? There's a smaller runway, 28 right, that should be good enough for my little Kodiak. Let's go to 28. No, 28 right is not available for approaches. Then we're gonna have to take left. Do you happen to know what the Zulu or Yankee means? Is that the direction the approach is coming from? What's the meaning of this? Well, I'm going to pick 28 left. That means we're going to approach from base whatever. And what is the other one? Y? That's another one. Well, how about that one? I like it. Okay. Load approach and activate. So the next, it's Salinas. That is nice. The bird is nice. Okay, where was I? Of course I forgot to turn off the landing light. No, but it's too late. Let's just go ahead and... It's always the same. It's always the same with me. Not using my checklists. So many hornets around these parts. I desperately need to get an add-on that is that's going to insert proper traffic. Because I mean, this is at every single airport that I've been, there were hornets all over the country. They just cannot have so many hornets. It's not possible. Let's take a look where we actually are. I need to see the airport chart, so yep. Let's go ahead. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Okay, we're gonna have to turn right. No ground traffic in sight. Do 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 do. So. More. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with local. With the CTF. Just gonna take a look. Nobody's coming in or coming out. Flaps to 20. Trim, we're gonna have to adjust the trim a little bit to the front. There we go. Line up. Everything else should be good. Landing lights are on. Everything else checks out. Yep. Okie dokie. Mr. Skinflints is doing his break. Toilet break or something. And off we go again. What's the time? 11:30. 60 knots. Rotate. Ooh, we're heavy. Yes, we are. What's this guy doing? He's been flying circuits here all the time. Raise the flaps. Make a left turn. we've got 4,000 feet. And we can do vertical speed of about 1,200, something like that. And activate the autopilot. There's a ship called M. Just M. That is short and concise. I like that. And this guy's doing his circuits all the time. Skinny's back in the air as well. Let's go to 3,000. That should be enough. We're not going to fly over these mountains. Okay. Let's call NorCal approach. Where is it? NorCal approach of Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta. 2 miles south of Half Moon Bay, climbing to 3,000. Request flight following to Monterey Bay.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, squawk 6744 and ident.
6744 ident, Delta Foxtrot Delta.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, unable to assign squawk or ident. Say altitude and position.
Let's wait a minute. He might be able to recognize us.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, radar contact.
There we go.
3 southeast of Half Moon Bay Airport at 2900 feet. Heading 121. Half Moon Bay, altimeter 30.18.
Altimeter 30.18. Delta Foxtrot Delta. Well, we might actually increase the altitude a little to 4,000. There we go. Let's reduce the RPM to 2,000 as usual. There we go. Oh, the torques were too high. Yep, so we're supposed to be at 5,100 feet. We could actually increase our altitude to 5,100. There we go. I do love California. It's really got some awesome landscape. And all kinds of landscapes, actually. You've got desert area and mountain areas and some juicy vineyards and whatnot. There's a lot of variety. And of course the awesome Pacific Ocean. Goodbye, San Francisco. Nice to meet you again. Even if it was only in a virtual environment. I can't let go. I really can't let go. I really desperately need to know the hotel name. Let's ask Google Gemini. Sometimes these artificial intelligence shit shows do work. There once was a little hotel in Berkeley, CA, which had a name that began with aunt. Let's see. The hotel had some kind of Renaissance style interior. Final is going to be Monterey Airport.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta. Final destination noted as Monterey Airport.
Thank you so much, Delta Foxtrot Delta. No. At least I was right about the university. That's something. And the stuff that we saw in the hills, that's actually the university, the UCal Botanical Garden. And it's the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, and there is the Lawrence Hall of Science, and all kinds of stuff. Good enough. 8 is 119.250. Okay, dude. We can, I think we could do this in here. We're going to change to the standby frequency 119 1250. Enter. And transfer.
Delta. Monterey Peninsula Airport, information Delta. 2054 Zulu. Wind 305 at 8. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, clear. Temperature 14. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3018. Density altitude 0 feet. Arriving and departing runways 28 left, 28 right.
Yep,
Advise
same here.
on initial contact you have information Delta.
I'm going to do the very same. Salinas and 28 left. So, but now that you're listening again, what is the meaning of this additional additional letter here? There's one of the approaches has a Y and the other one has a Z, or a Yankee and Zulu. What's the meaning of this? Is there some special anything special about this? What is wrong with my plane? Click on hold and remove it. Why should I be removing it? Oh, you mean the hold? Yes, I get it. Yep. Thank you very much. Good idea. But it's not removing it. Hello? Yes, I want to remove it. I want to remove all the holding patterns. Go away. It's not going to remove it. Remove. I want to get rid of it. Remove it. It won't work. What am I supposed to do? Do a bit of aileron trim here because the airplane is hold to when you hit Higgsar, just direct to yeah, I know, I've done that yeah, but I cannot remove it. I want to remove the hold. It doesn't work. The software is crap. Frickin' remove. It just doesn't work. Get off me. Yeah, I'm just gonna activate Igeo then. It'll be alright. So let's zoom in a little here. Oh, come on, dude. I want a real G1000 right in front here in my face. Or I need knobs. I need bugs. I want to turn bugs, real life bugs, physical bugs. I guess I'm gonna have to get a pilot's license. But then it's gonna take, probably it's gonna take as long to get it and to be able to fly a Kodiak as it takes me to get to the age where I'm not allowed to fly anymore. You don't like the G1000, okay. That's alright.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, contact NorCal departure on 121.3.
I don't know anything else, so I'm gonna have to work with what I have. NorCal departure on 121.3 for Delta Foxtrot Delta. Good date. Hello everybody, Delta Foxtrot Delta transfer.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta NorCal departure. Good afternoon, Santa Cruz altimeter 30.15.
Altimeter 30.15 for Delta Foxtrot Delta. How many do we have to go? Like 21.5 miles. Where is Skinny? Let's take a look. He is behind us. Oh, let's check out Alt 2. Yep, it is removing the... That's nice.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, continue straight in towards the field. Descend at your discretion. Expect runway 28 left.
28 left for Delta Foxtrot Delta. Oh, I should reduce the torques here. We're burning fuel much too quickly. Let's open up this thing here. 17 miles to go. I could actually go ahead and, oh man. It is a bit buggy, really. It is a bit buggy. It is a bit buggy. Let's put it to the side here. The window management with this thing is I don't know, difficult.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, contact Monterey Tower on 118.4.
118.4 for Delta Foxtrot Delta. Good day. Monterey Tower, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta with you. Intention to land on 28 left.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta, Salinas Tower, runway 28 left, enter left downwind.
Left downwind, 28 left, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta. There's something in my nose here. So why do you not like the G1000? What is the matter? Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. I hate it, actually. It's completely whack. I see. Seven miles to go. You're picky. Normally I only fly a GA bird with if I can have the 750, okay? If it doesn't, yeah. I get it, but I just love the Kodiak. So there's no way around that. I would love to use it on a different display, but it's so crowded here. I have 3 displays and all of them are stuffed with stuff that I seem to be needing, so yep, I get it. 2.8 miles to go.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, winds 295 at 10, runway 26 cleared to land.
Runway 26? I'm not sure. Nope. That is the wrong airport, guys. I don't want to land at Salinas. I want to be landing at Monterey. What the heck? Okay, so now we have the next waypoint, which is Hixar. Okay, at least the glide path is going to work. As you can see, we've got the indicator. That's nice. There's a whole lot of agriculture going on down there. Okay, so let's go to activate leg to go. Yep. And let's reduce the throttle a little bit here and lose altitude. Go to 4,100. You could actually hit approach, maybe. Yep, it is working. For some reason, it's not trying to lose altitude. No, it is. I hope. Nope, it's not. Well, then I'm gonna have to do it manually, for crying out loud. Completely ignoring my input here. I'm gonna fly this manually. What the heck is wrong? We need to be a lot lower. $1,700 feet. This instrument stuff is not good for anything. It's always bugging out. It's just shit. A shit show of epic proportions. So where's the glide path? I need to find the glide path. Path right there. Okay, here we are. We're gonna get there eventually. Yes, we will. We're gonna get there. Yes, yes. Let's lower the flaps to 10 degrees. There is the airport. And we're supposed to be landing on the left runway. Yes, we will. Sir. Yes, we will. Lower the flaps to 20. And this is the highest setting I'm gonna go with the flaps, because we were so heavy with all these people back here. Look at these glasses. These alone weigh about 10 kilos. Delta Foxtrot Delta is on final runway 28 left.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, winds 295 at 14, runway 26, cleared to land.
No, that's the wrong airport. Delta Foxtrot Delta is on final runway 28 left.
500. 500. 500. 500.
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot. Delta, Monterey Tower, winds 315 at Niner, runway 28 left, cleared to land.
Clear to land, 28 left, Delta Foxtrot Delta. Thank you very much. So lovely. Sweet Mother of God. This is going to be an... oh, hell no. I kind of lost it, really. We're too fast. We're too fast. We should stay between 75 and 85 knots, somewhere. Oh, this is making... This is really... I mean, you know... These planes are just... They're so... No. Let's get down and dirty, baby. There we go. Raise the flaps real quick so we don't take off again. Oh! There's an exit.
Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, welcome to Monterey. Contact ground on 120.875.
I will. Thank you. Goodbye. Monterey ground, Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta, left the runway, 28 left, left the runway, and would like to taxi to general aviation parking, because it's nice there. Yeah. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's how the world works with...
Kodiak November Delta Foxtrot Delta, Monterey ground, taxi to general aviation parking via Alpha. Have a great day.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much. A skin Flint's has a passive
Kodiak Delta
aircraft.
Foxtrot Delta, you're welcome. Safe travels.
And what is that? That's an interesting airplane right there. Hi there. Your plane looks like it doesn't have a third gear. thing, wheel thing stuff. What is this? Is that a Boeing? Boing, boing. I mean, there's a Boeing, and there's a Boeing. No, this is an Airbus, right? Is that a Boeing? It's an Airbus. It says right there in the biggest possible letters that you could imagine, Airbus. But no, it's a Boeing, obviously. And there's a Boeing. Boing, boing. Alright, so... Oh! We had some weird spawns here. Yeah, it's a 7... Now it's probably an 80... An 888, because... I mean, they're... It's an... Yep, possibly an air Boeing. Boing, boing. I'm gonna cut the fuel, otherwise this thing is gonna explode on me. Pull back the yoke and everything. I just need to, you know, cut off and make sure that we don't explode the air Boeing. Turn off all this. And of course I forgot to activate the taxi lights. Why should I remember this? Here we go. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Good night. There we go. Good night. And so forth and so on. Where's the... And you ass wipes back there. You can get out of the plane real quick. Oh, he's moving. That was quick. He did board very quickly. I am impressed. And now he's gonna run me over. He's starting up. He's gonna suck me right in. Look at that guy. He's got like many horsepowers. And he's not supposed to suck in humans. Am I in the way, good buddy? I'm sorry, I already shut down the engine. I'm not going to move anywhere. See ya. And what is this? That's the target. You're going to have to shoot this. What does it say? Out here in emergency. Why does it have... There are no doors here. But there are doors. I don't understand. It makes no sense. Yeah, well, it's always good to be sure that the rubber bands are working. No tow. Why not? I think he's confused. What is this? That an exit, an emergency exit as well. That makes sense. You can jump out of the bottom of the airplane. And this here, this guy here, this guy here, these two, the pedo, whatever this is, probably some things to measure the airspeed. So these red rims here, the red dotted line around these says please don't touch it. Maybe that this airport really is the most... Oh, now he's actually, yeah, it's dangerous. It really is. But it's possibly due to the orcas in the aquarium, because they're flying the jets actually. There's another F-18. What are all these F-18s doing here? That does not compute. Yeah. Let's push him out of the door. You guys, you're still sitting here. It's a life-threatening situation. You should get out real quick. Oh, there it is. I want to open... No. I want to open the doors. Let me open the cargo doors. Oh, he's in the way. Can't click it. Okay. I can only open it from inside, but there's a whole lot of cargo in the way. What do I do? I've got a dilemma. Open the door. Yes, please. Open the door. Not working. They didn't think of this. Idiots. Oh man. Okay, so how do I get out of the plane? I want to walk around. Is there a shortcut for this? How about that? Yeah. Here we go. So, I cannot open the door. That's unfortunate. So, I'm gonna visit you real quick here. Is there some way to actually run? Stand behind. No way. Once I move myself out of the way, he's moving. Oh, there's another plane. They are really quick in The spawning system is really efficient. Oh, he's moving. He's running over everybody. He just cut off my wing. Or my rudder. They don't lose no time. How can I jump? Oh, I can run. By hitting space. Huh. What are you doing? Let's see if you're baldy. Yes, you're stand still. Yeah, well, there's still this incredible lack of hair. Well, your plane, it's lacking the front gear. Look at that. And okay, so the cockpit actually got a yoke. But there's no G750 in there. You're lying. There's basically no avionics whatsoever. There's nothing. Well, can I just hop into a car, maybe? I didn't ever try. Dude, these look like, I don't know, cardboard cars? Look, but they did do the wheels. Look at, the wheels are actually additional textures that are being put onto the car. I have no clue why they're doing this, but they're doing it for all the cars. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, there's somebody taking off. Taking off. Look at that. Look at that. He's accelerating quite quickly. gonna run me over? You've just entered your airplane, I would say. Well, are there animations for the body? Can I salute or something like that? Some emotions? Maybe not. There's another guy running around, but this guy belongs to airport service, I would say. All right. Can I have guns? Can I shoot the tires of the airplanes? And this guy's in midair. The textures actually look pretty nice. If you walk up to him, it's pretty detailed. Well, that was it. So, have a nice evening, I guess, pretty soon. And I'll see you around pretty soon. The cars don't look real. No, they don't. They look like, not like cars. They're just, I don't know. Could have been built from cardboard. Yes, you should. Stupid. Microsoft just doesn't know how to do real world stuff. This, at least not when it comes to cars. But there was, at one point, I don't know if you remember, but there was one game that was pretty good, at least for its time. It was called Midtown Madness. And Midtown Madness, that was also from Microsoft, and it was a car racing game. And it wasn't half bad, really. And the reason why I liked it, I was able to drive a Beetle, a Volkswagen Beetle. It was the slowest car in the game, and it, you know, it didn't feel very real when it came to the physics, to the actual driving physics, but it was a Beetle, and I really enjoyed driving it. So, I'm out of here. See you soon. Have a nice evening, Skinny, and everybody else.